You're halfway through your morning, your focus is slipping, and you need a boost. So you reach for an iced flavored coffee, a sports drink, or a packaged fruit juice to get you through. These drinks offer the promise of energy, but because they are liquids stripped of dietary fiber, the simple sugars hit your digestive system instantly. There is no barrier to slow their absorption. The sugar enters your bloodstream all at once, and your blood glucose shoots straight up. To protect your system, your pancreas floods your blood with insulin. This sudden overcorrection pulls so much glucose out, your energy levels plummet. That deep drop is the sugar crash. It causes brain fog, jitters, and a heavy afternoon fatigue that makes your brain crave another sweet drink. By reaching for that quick liquid fix, you are effectively engineering your own exhaustion and derailing your focus for the rest of the day. This relentless daily cycle of exhaustion signals a deeper systemic shift occurring in your internal organs over months and years. Every time you spike your blood sugar, your pancreas must work at maximum capacity. Producing these massive surges of insulin becomes an unsustainable burden. Your body hits a breaking point called cellular insulin resistance. Cells become deaf to the insulin signal and refuse to absorb glucose. The sugar has to go somewhere, so the excess glucose and fructose are shuttled directly to your liver. The liver cannot store this much liquid energy, so it converts the fructose into fat. This is the primary driver of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Once the liver becomes compromised by fat, it triggers a cascade of metabolic risks, including type 2 diabetes, severe cardiovascular disease, and finally, PCOS. Managing that afternoon energy crash is the fundamental first step in preventing systemic metabolic disease. If liquid sugar is the enemy, it seems logical that switching to zero-calorie artificial sweeteners would be the ultimate hack. On a technical level, diet drinks do successfully bypass that initial glucose and insulin spike. However, in 2023, the World Health Organization published a directive showing that replacing sugar with non-sugar sweeteners doesn't promote sustained weight loss. The problem is metabolic confusion. Your brain tastes intense sweetness and expects a delivery of calories. When no calories arrive, your body's appetite regulation becomes dysregulated. This confusion results in increased appetite and persistent cravings. Even without the calories, these beverages are still associated with a continued risk of cardiovascular issues. Natural fruit juices are also a common fallback, but biologically, they are not a metabolic upgrade. Because the natural fiber is stripped away, the liquid fructose in juice hits your liver with the exact same speed and toxicity as a standard soda. The biologically safe alternatives for hydration and energy are plain water, black coffee, and unsweetened green tea. Making this switch involves psychological friction. It takes time for your brain to reset its receptors after being hyperstimulated by intense sweetness. You cannot trick your metabolism with fake sweetness or stripped-down fruit without paying a metabolic price. If you already have signs of insulin resistance, like stubborn belly fat or skin tags, you likely lack the time for a restrictive zero-carb crash diet. Instead, we can look at metabolic ROI, habits that require low daily effort but have a massive impact on your insulin sensitivity. The first high ROI habit is the clothing rule for carbohydrates. Never eat a carbohydrate alone. Pairing a carb with a protein or a healthy fat physically slows down how quickly your stomach empties. This delayed digestion flattens the glucose curve. By preventing a spike, you ensure your pancreas doesn't have to emergency release a flood of insulin. The second high ROI habit you can easily add to your routine is achieving 150 minutes of weekly movement, such as brisk walking. Active skeletal muscles act as a sponge, absorbing glucose directly from the bloodstream for fuel without requiring any insulin at all. Improving your insulin sensitivity is about using strategic food pairing and movement to give your overworked pancreas a break. Tomorrow morning, you can begin mapping these biological realities into a concrete action plan. For the diet switcher, the viewer using diet sodas for weight loss, the data indicates these drinks are likely stalling your progress. The best action is to taper off the artificial sweeteners and transition to sparkling water to break the sweet receptor addiction. For the reversal seeker, dealing with brain fog and fatigue, the priority is clearing excess glucose. Implement the clothing rule for every carbohydrate and commit to daily walking to help your muscles clear sugar from your blood. Metabolic health depends on managing how fast sugar enters the bloodstream to protect the liver, rather than achieving absolute perfection. True resilience comes from controlling the rate of intake and ensuring your body has the fiber and movement it needs to process energy safely. Trading processed liquid calories for hydration and whole foods does more than help you lose weight. It allows you to reclaim stable, crash-free energy for the rest of your life.